You ladies are doing so well. I'm so proud of you for sticking with me. I'm sure you guys have probably filled up your coffee cup by now. Maybe you've grabbed a snack. Let's get started. Let's finish up this training. We are going on to the letter S in the word admonish. And S stands for an admonish mentor schedules time together. We're going to talk through the practical ways that you will be scheduling your time together. I need you to think through what level of commitment that you are personally comfortable with. Now, the Admonish Mentor Ministry has been set up with the parameters of a face-to-face or a personal contact every other week. So in the course of a month, you're really only connecting face-to-face or personally with her 2 times. That can look like a Zoom virtual meeting, or it can look like a phone conversation. Now, in your first initial interaction, I'd like you to pull out the sheet that says Initial Interaction Outline and Record Sheet. Okay, pull that out if you wouldn't mind. That should be in the documents that have been attached. And so I just want to walk through with you what your initial interaction will look like and then what other future scheduled meetings will look like. So if you have that page in front of you, let's go through that together. Number 1 says you're going to share your ministry experience, basically your resume, and your heart for mentoring. So this is after the mentee has initiated contact with us at Breathe Ministry, expressing a desire to start a mentor relationship. We've already worked through the nitty-gritty, gathered all of her information, and now we've passed on to you. You have 72 hours in order to make your initial contact with this mentee. During that initial interaction, this is the form that you will be filling out on every one of your mentees. Okay? So you will start by sharing your ministry experience and your resume, and just a general idea of why you have a heart to want to be in mentoring. The second thing you're going to do is basically listen and take notes. You're going to ask her the question, what are you hoping to gain from this mentorship relationship? What do you need most from a friend right now? And what is the best way I can pour into you? Now, you're going to mark it with the date, and you're also going to take notes. If this is not enough space, please just flip it over and use the back. But it is very important that you get these questions answered because this is going to help and direct you in your future interactions with her. Okay, you're going to work towards those become your personal goals. Your personal goal is to be able to understand why she entered, what does she need most, how can you provide that? Okay, that's the framework that you're working under. Why did she come into it? What does she need, and how can you provide that, okay? So you're going to take notes, and that's going to be your guide for that mentor, that mentee, and what you do in that relationship. Next, you, in that time together, you will explain the process to her. You'll tell her, we are going to meet 2 times a month in a face-to-face or phone conversation. The other 2 times in the month, I will spend an equal amount, so an hour in prayer and encouraging you. That may be through, and you can give her examples. I may reach out to you through a text. I may reach out to you through an email. Now, texting, I would encourage you to just double check and pray about. Make sure that you're comfortable with somebody having your cell phone number, because that is one of the boundary issues, that if that mentee becomes too needy, which is possible, that they become a drain on you. So maybe texting wouldn't be the best method that we would encourage, but email is certainly fine. Social media, there are boundaries in place for social media and how often you respond to something like that. Whatever filters and boundaries you're comfortable with, we are okay with, but we would rather you be more conservative on those than free in giving out all your personal information. So we will provide an internet platform that will allow you to make phone calls so that she can't have your phone number if you prefer, and also we'll be using Zoom to set up virtual meetings. So you will explain that process to her. Then you'll move on to discussing and scheduling when those 2 times a month will be. So you'll say, hey, do you have your planner? Can you get out your calendar? I'd love to get down the dates that we would like to meet over the next 3 months. If you can plan 3 months out, that's going to be in your best interest and it's going to be helpful for us. So you're going to discuss and figure out, when are you guys going to connect? How are you going to connect? Is it through phone or virtual meeting? What weeks are you meeting? And set the time that it's going to be for an hour. You are going to write that schedule down. Below on that sheet, you will see the dates provided there. We're asking that you write those dates down for what you decided, and then go ahead and send that to our administrative assistant at Colleen@breatheministry.com. She will go ahead and do the behind the scenes work to get those virtual meetings set up for you, and then you will receive training on how to go into the Zoom platform and initiate and start the actual meeting. Then you'll move on to some basic general information that we would just like to have. What is their husband's name? What ministry are they currently serving in? How long have they been at that ministry? Feel free to ask insightful questions like, are you struggling with anything in that ministry? Do you find joy in that ministry? Try to gather whether it's a positive environment or not. Ask what children they have and their ages. Ask for her email address, her Facebook name, or her Instagram handle. And then ask for her birthday, her anniversary, and whatever interests or hobbies she has. If during your mentor relationship, her birthday comes up or her anniversary comes up, we would like to ask you to take responsibility to go ahead and initiate sending a card for that. You are welcome to send a gift. By no means are you required to. But if you saw something little, a bookmark, or something that you know that she would like and you want to put that expense out, you're more than welcome to do that. And that's why we have the section for interests and hobbies, so that you can have a landing spot to put all this information. Now, you are going to use this form. We eventually will require you to send this in, but for the duration of your relationship, the 3 months, you will hang on to this form just as a reference for you to be able to have a landing spot and remember how your initial conversation went. So that tackles what level of commitment you're comfortable with, what's the best way to meet, and when you will be meeting. We will provide for you a 6-week content calendar for each time that you will be meeting with them. You will be meeting with your mentee twice a month for 3 months, which means 6 times you'll be having a conversation with them. Now, while some mentees may come into the relationship ready to go and ready to just unload everything that they are experiencing, you may have other mentees that are kind of a little gun shy at opening up, a little bit concerned or leery about what it's going to look like. So we are providing you with a loose framework of content to address during each session together. Now, the mentee will not be privy to this information, because if the Spirit leads and the atmosphere is comfortable for her to just open up and you wind up exploring other issues, we are okay with that. We trust your discretion and wisdom. And so we are only providing this to you if you sense that there may be little direction during your time together. So week 1, and this is all based off Titus 2, verses 4 through 5, the very things that Scripture talks about we should be building into the younger women are the very topics that we will address. So we will address marriage in week 1. In week 2, you will ask about children, and you'll we have some guide questions, open-ended questions that you will ask during that time. So week 2 is children. Week 3, you'll touch on cultivating beauty on the inside, specifically referencing being self-controlled and pure. But whatever that looks like, cultivating beauty on the inside, you may ask how she's doing mentally, emotionally, that kind of thing. But we will, again, provide those open-ended questions. Week 4, you'll talk about making a house a home and things that maybe she enjoys, maybe things that she struggles with. Maybe she shares that she struggles with getting the kids out the door in the morning, and it becomes a brainstorming session. And you share ideas that worked for you, and she shares something she would really like to try, and you cheer her on for the next 2 weeks to see how she does getting it accomplished. Week 5, we'll talk about kindness in action, serving our community. And week 6, we'll talk about being humble in our position. So we'll address things like, how are you doing as a leader? What things are you struggling with? What ways can I pray for you as a leader? What resources do you know about? Can I share with you? Those types of things. So an admonish mentor schedules time with her mentee in these various areas. At this time, you're going to want to get out your 14-word phrase. I'm going to give you the next word, which is life. The word is life. So I am so excited that we are almost through with our admonish mentor outline. Let's go ahead and move on to the next letter, letter H.